Good morning, welcome to Fairy and Spoil. I'm going to show you today how I give my dogs tablets. There's a few different ways that I do it, and I know that if your dog needs tablets and they won't take them, it can really cause some big problems. Just the point I want to make before I show you what I do is, vets and different people and that will often tell people that if you can't get a dog to take a tablet, then basically to grab the dog, sometimes wrap it in a towel, and then to put the tablet in their mouth, tip their head back, rub their throat so they have to swallow, and then that's them, they've taken the tablet, they've got no choice. I am so completely and utterly against this method, so against it, because number one, that is really going to ruin the bond that you have with your dog. Imagine if somebody grabbed you every day and forced you to have a tablet shoved in your mouth and then touched your throat and then you had to swallow. I mean, just alone, somebody touching your throat is a very unpleasant experience. But imagine if someone grabbed you and shoved a tablet down you. There are so many other ways you can do it. And yeah, sure, sometimes it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of perseverance, but that is so much better than the other way. I never will understand why vets tell people to do it that way. It just does so much damage to your relationship with the dog. And at the end of the day, other things that you need to do with your dog are very dependent on the relationship that you have with your dog and whether or not your dog trusts you. And that is just going to ruin the trust so badly. So I'm so completely and utterly against that method. It's much better to put a bit of work in and find a different way to do it, and I'll show you those ways now. Right, so before I show you the methods we do, I'm going to show you what you need. So it is really important that the product that you put the tablet in, your dog has got to really, really want that. Now, some dogs will eat the product and then they will spit the tablet out. And I'm going to show you how to get around that in a minute. So this is the thing that I use. So this is it's just chicken paste. You could, I think it's for making sandwiches or something. But I just get it when I do my shopping. It's really cheap, like 70p or something for the jar. That lasts me for ages. And this is what we use. And our dogs absolutely love this, and so it works great. But that's the most important thing. You've got to use something that is really, really nice and tempting. Another thing that I sometimes use is like, you can buy like soft cheese spread. That works really well. But you've got to be careful with that cheese spread, because some dogs are really not okay with dairy, and even though it's only a small amount, it might give them a bad tummy, so you'll have to kind of see how that goes. And also there's the fat content, so but the thing is, when you're giving them the tablets, you are only actually giving them a tiny little bit of the product, as you'll see in a minute. But it does have to be something really tempting, because they're not really going to eat it otherwise. So you've got to put a bit of thought into that, making sure that it's something a bit tempting. It's no good just giving them in a bit of their food, because that isn't really going to work. So my husband here is demonstrating when we put a tablet inside the paste. So he just gets the paste. So about that much for each dog. No, that much for all three dogs. So how much per each dog?
You want...
So how much for each dog? That one.
3.
That bit there. Alright, so as you can see, it's just a tiny little amount. And then the tablet, you just press it into it. So just press the tablet into the centre of the little lump of paste. And then you cover the tablet up so you make a little ball. Like that. Yep, and then you'll see they just all eat that straight down. No problems at all. Right, so now my husband is going to demonstrate for you something else you can do. So you could do this, hold on a second. You could do this if your dog is still spitting the tablet out even when you put it in the centre of the paste. And you can also do this if you have to have a tablet that needs to be split up into 3. So when Humps first came to us, he had to be on paracetamol because his legs were in such a bad way. And so it was, don't ever do this to your dog. You need to talk to a vet about the amount. But we had to divide a tablet into 3. And so this is how we did it. So you could do this if it's just one tablet like the Piriton that you need to give your dog and he won't eat it with the paste. Or you could do it if you need to divide a tablet into more than one. So you put the tablet on the spoon, get 2 small spoons, and then you just crush it. And it's surprisingly easy to do with all sorts of tablets. You can do, I've done it with the Piriton, you could do it with the paracetamol, whatever. You just crush it.
Don't move the spoons around when you're doing it because it flies out.
Oh.
All you want to do is just squeeze the 2 together.
Okay, so in case you didn't catch that, don't move the spoons around when you're doing it, because if the tablet flies out, just press the 2 spoons down and the tablet will all crush up like that. See, that was really quite easy, wasn't it? So if it is just one tablet that you're giving, then you could just sprinkle that powder onto the food, or you could put it into the paste. But if it's a tablet, like so in the beginning with Humps, we had to divide the paracetamol into 3. So we bought this like tablet dispenser thing, and we just divided the amount of powder into 3, and then we put it into this tablet dispenser, and then there was no way. Number one, you know you've got the right amount, but secondly, there's no way you can forget to give the tablet, because if you look into the box, then you know it's either there or it isn't. And this powdery thing, you could also sprinkle that onto wet food. So you could either sprinkle it onto wet food, or you could do the same thing with the paste balls, but because it's not an actual tablet, it's sprinkled up powder, they can't just spit it back out. Now with some tablets, like this tablet here, so this is a tablet that I give my dogs every day for their arthritis, and that I just put that in their food. It tastes so good that they will just eat it straight. There are some tablets where you can just give it to a dog, give it to your dog, just hand the tablet to them like it's a treat, and they absolutely will eat it. It tastes that good. They will eat it straight out like that. And like I said, these tablets here, they are the dogs will just take it, but I just put it in with their dinner. Some tablets do need to be given with food, and so that's sort of a classic case of when you could just put it in their dinner with them. So let me just run over some of the ways. Let me just recap the ways. So we got Humps here and his collection of toys. You could give it to them straight. If they will just eat it straight, then that's great. The other option is that you can give it to them wrapped in paste or something like that, and that's great. You could crush the tablet and then mush the powdered tablet into the paste. You can crush the tablet and then sprinkle that into their dinner. That's it really. That's the 3 ways that I always do, and they always work great. What is really important is that when you give it to them, you've got to convince them that it's a treat. And so you've got to be excited and like, oh, do you want to... I can't obviously do it because I'll have all my dogs running around in a minute. But you've got to be excited about it. Now, I know it can be very stressful, especially, it's medicine. They need it. So it's really important that you stay calm, because if you are anxious about it, then the dog is going to immediately pick up on that. And he's going to think, there's something I need to be anxious about. I'm not eating that. And that will cause all sorts of problems. So you've got to stay nice and calm and nice and relaxed so that they don't pick up on any anxiety. And then you've got to add to that some excitement, like, look what I've got, look what I've got. So what I would do, if I was feeding them a new tablet and I wanted to see if they would just eat it straight if I hand it to them, I would get down on the floor with them, I would get the box or the packet or whatever it is, and I would call them over, and I would get them to sniff it, and I'd be all excited and be like, look what I've got, oh look what we've got, shall we have a look at it? And I'd be all excited and all like happy about it, and then the chances are much more likely that they're just going to take the tablet straight. But if they won't, and you do have to go to the other methods, like we do with the Piriton, they won't eat Piriton straight. I can imagine it tastes disgusting. So they won't eat that straight. So we have to wrap it up in the paste. And in the beginning, you can see when I showed you earlier, you see they just take that no problem. But in the beginning, I had to get excited about it and then make them think that it was a really happy, exciting thing to do. But like I said, it can be tough, and you will have to try different methods. But sometimes you don't. Some dogs just are so easy to give medicine to. But please, 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 if you are doing the method, or the vet has told you to do the method where you're grabbing your dog and you're shoving it in his mouth and you're making it swallow it, please put some thought into that, because you're ruining your trust. And I know, like with Humps here, fast asleep on the floor, because of he had so many, treated so badly before he came to us, and that he came to us and he was really quite people aggressive, and you know, he was biting people and it was really bad. But the only reason that I'm able to, and because when he came to us, he was in such, his physical health and mental, it was just a mess. Everything was broken in him, everything. I was only able to groom him and be able to do the things that I can do with him because he trusted me. If I had, and I was very aware that from the word go, I was never to do anything that in any way made him think that he could trust me at all times. And because of that, he's allowed me to do things that other people haven't been able to do. If I at any point had grabbed him and shoved a tablet down his mouth, that would have been the end of that. That would have been game over. He would never have trusted me again. And he would have been in a real mess because he was biting groomers, he bit the vet. And so these people weren't able to do things to him. And he would have been really, really uncomfortable if those things weren't done. But luckily, because he trusted me, I'm able to do it. So I can't emphasise enough how important it is that you never, ever, ever put a foot wrong with your dog, because once you've broken that trust, you've broken the trust. They don't forget, and you can't really repair it. And I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is. I know it's frustrating. I know it's hard. And I know, you know, the thing is with dogs is you've got to be thinking all the time. And you, especially if you, well, any dog really, because even if you know a dog really, really well, but then one day you do something where he doesn't trust you, that can really damage your relationship and there's no coming back from it. So please don't think I'm flippant about this. I'm not. I know how hard it is and I know how much thought you have to put into it. But just take away from this video the thought that once you've broken the trust with your dog, just once, you've broken it. And it's the same with us. I mean, you think about people. If you know somebody and everything's fine and they've always been nice to you and lovely, but then one day they do something to you that really is really horrible and nasty, and you never feel the same about that person again. And it's going to be the same with you and your dog. So just think about it, and really, I don't know why vets recommend that stupid method. It's just ridiculous. It's easy, I suppose. I suppose it is an easy method. But you're doing so much damage, and then going forward, when there's anything else you need to do to your dog's not going to let you do it, so you're just causing anguish for you and your dog. It's not worth it. So that's it. That's how I give my dogs tablets. So you know where I am. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I'm playing around a bit with my social media. I'm trying to sort of work out what is best. And on those places, I just put tip of the day. So it's just little tips of whatever I'm up to with my dogs that I think you might benefit from. And then obviously on YouTube here, we've got the videos that go up once, twice a week sometimes. It just depends what's happening with my dogs really and what I've got to tell you. So, but as always, if you've got a problem, please will you message me. I'm more than happy to help. So thank you as always for watching, and I really hope that you and your dogs have a really good day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.